in terms of walking it back and the president dealing with a media narrative that was set no matter how he reacted, look at what Time Magazine had to do. They put out this cover that tries to frame this in a way that is obviously extremely negative to the president's position. A screaming, crying two-year-old girl with this president looming over her as if he's literally ripping her from her mom, when in fact Time Magazine has to run a correction about the story. They haven't corrected the photo. They're still sort of standing behind the idea that this still, in their eyes, typifies the debate. But they're admitting now that this young girl, 2 years old, was never separated from her mom.
We all saw this woman, this young girl, this 2-year-old girl. She came over from Honduras, and as you said, the story we've come to find now, she wasn't separated from her mom. In fact, her father is speaking out about this, and here's what he says about what happened. He said, "You can imagine how I felt when I saw that photo of my daughter. It broke my heart. It's difficult as a father to see that. But I know now that they are not in danger. They are safer now than they were making that journey to the border." So she has been with her mother this whole time. The father actually says he didn't know that the mother took the daughter, that he was really nervous
so
about
safer now in the detention facility than the perilous journey that the mom decided to take and put the kid on? I mean, there's a point to be made there as well.
So Time Magazine is actually making the opposite point.
Yes. Thank you, Ed. They are
trying to help.
They're unintentionally making the reverse point.
So I'm trying to help you out.
They're unintentionally making the reverse point that indeed, actually, here in America, separated, not separated, you are cared for. The laws matter, and the perilous journey you put them on in Mexico is a roll of the dice.
But also the message of you see a photo and you can't just jump to a narrative. I think it's so important today to understand what we're talking about. If we're going to look at a photo that seems like it's a terrible situation, let's make sure we back it up with some facts and know the actual story behind it.
I
That's
sent
the
out
real
a
problem
tweet tweaking Time Magazine about this last night, and I had somebody shoot back at me that, "Oh, nice standing behind your fellow journalists." And I basically said, how would I stand behind basically a fake photo? Like, that's not standing behind journalism. It's simply not.
No, you're standing for journalism.
Right, to say, frame the story accurately.
There you go.
And if, in fact, because Abby's right, what she said a minute ago, whether you like it or not, the president did walk this back a bit. He had to reverse himself by signing the executive order. So if the other side from the president believes that they have the facts right, why do you have to manipulate the facts in this debate? Stick with the facts.